Well, hello again. Today, we're rocking the Cubs gear today because today's puzzle is by someone named Manus Hand. I believe is the way you pronounce that. And I know from talking with Manus that he is a big Cubs fan, as am I. So there you go. Now, Manus sent me this puzzle, and I looked through the rules actually last night when he sent it to me, and it looks very interesting. I tried to not think about the implications of the rules because I want to go into this fresh. Um, but the rules sound a little complicated at first, but I don't think it'll be. I don't think it's as complicated as it initially sounds. So here's the rules: standard Sudoku and Kropki pair rules apply. So we have the Kropki pair rules, like the ratio dots are a 1-to-2 ratio, so you could have a 1 and a 2 here, for example, or a 3 and a 6, right? And then we have the difference dots, which have to be consecutive. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, etc. So that part is normal. Now, the part that's a little tricky is there's these compass cells that have letters in the corners, like the N, the NW. And in a compass cell, it's pointing to a target cell, which contains a copy of the Kropki dots. So this cell right here has a white dot at the bottom. It says north. And so the digit that's in this cell, if it was a 3, for example, you'd go up 1, 2, 3 to the north. And this cell would then have to have a white dot. All right, I think we're going to have to do this one in setting mode today instead of solving mode because I suspect I'm going to want to be able to stick the dots in there. Something like this. So these two would be copies of each other, which would mean they would have the same dots. Now there's also some with question marks here, and that means the direction is not known. So if you had a 2 in this one with the question marks, you would know that the dots in this cell, if there was, I don't know, let's just say there's something like that. This cell, there has to be another cell with the white dots on the left and the right side that's 2 cells away from this one in some direction. So it could be this cell up here, it could be this one over here, it could be, well, it can't be this one down here, but it could be at a diagonal as well. Normally, just not that specific one because this cell obviously couldn't match. But these 2 cells could be matched if that was a 2 and we had different dots. Anyways, that's the rules. I don't. It sounds complicated. I don't think it's quite as complicated. Well, I don't know how complicated it'll be to solve. I don't think the rules are quite as complicated to understand as they initially sound. Um, one implication that I kind of realized before I told myself stop thinking about it is you can't have too big of a number in one of these cells. Like a 9 is obviously impossible. You can't be 9 cells away. So there's going to be some more limitations on it, I suspect. But that is all the rules. This is Kropki Copies by Manus Hand, and I'm going to leave a link in the description as usual. And you can give it a try yourself. I'm going to give it a shot now. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so here we go. So I'm going to stay in setting mode today instead of solving mode, which means the numbers are going to be a different color, but that's okay. It'll work. I want to be able to add the dots in as I go, I think. So, I mean, this seems like the obvious place to start, right? We've got our 2 black dots here. So we know this has to be 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8 in some direction. So this one has to be 2 or 4. These are 1, 2, 4, 8. So then these have to be 1, 3, or 5. Actually, there has to be a 3 on one of these two. Because if it's a 2 here, you're going to have 1 and 3. And if it's a 4 here, you're going to have 3 and 5. But I think this northwest thing is probably the place to actually. This one has to go north. And it can't go 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 would be off the grid. So this can't be a 5. But it could still be 3, 4, 5. So could it be 1? No, it can't be 1 because if this is a 1, then this one has to have a difference dot at the bottom because it has to be a copy. we would have to put the difference dot right there. And now the 1 can't have two difference dots connected to it. So actually, we know this is a 3. Ooh, but we don't know if this is two, it could be 3, 2, 1, or it could be 3, 4, 5. But what we do know is this go. Oh, that was even my guess as an example, and wasn't it a 3? 2, 3. That's I guess it's not. It's not. I was gonna say that's kind of amazing, but it's really not because I mean you could only have like not very many options there. All right. Anyways, moving on. So these two are copies. They have the same dots, so I guess that doesn't really tell us anything. I mean, it gives us a dot, but right now it doesn't tell us anything. So maybe this one is the one we want to look at, right? So the north, well, yeah, I think this one's better. This one has too many options. 1, 2. Well, but this can't be an 8, can it? 2, 3, 4. Could be at most 5, which we can't have 5 anyways because it's 1, 2, or 4. So it's either this one, that one. No, this one. I know how to count. Or that one. That has to have a ratio dot on the left side. Oh, this one, well, that's interesting. So I guess if this was if this was a 1, that would be telling us this cell is a copy of this one. So would we then have to add a ratio, I guess add a ratio dot to this one, but we would then have to put a difference dot down here, I guess, if these were copies? So we'd kind of be copying the ratio dot up and the difference dot down, if that makes sense. All right, well, we don't even know if that's a 1 yet, so I guess we'll worry about that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm not entirely clear on the ruling on that one, but I guess we'll figure it out. Let's look at this one. So it's 2 or 4, so it's either this one or this one. Oh, well, it can't be 4, right? It can't be 4 because you'd have to have a ratio dot on the left side, and that would be leading off the grid. So this is a 2. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 4. So these are 1 and 4. It's 3, 2. This is 1 now. So this is 1 or 4. So it's 1. One of those two matches this one. Has the ratio dot on the left side. And I mean, this is possible to have a ratio dot over here. We'd have to have a 6. All right, but we know this one is copied up here. So let's put those dots in. We need to do a ratio dot on either side. There we go. And let's color these. I think that'll help us, especially if we do, like I suspect, maybe have some, I don't know, we'll see. We're copying both directions. I don't know. It might be helpful to have colors. So this, again, because there's 2 dots, we can't do 3s and 6s. These have to be 1, 2, 4, and 8, and the middle one has to be a 2 or a 4. This one can't be 1, 2, or 4 because of the 2 and the 1 to 4 pair. So this is an 8, which gives us the 4 and the 2. How about that? And now that that's a 4, these are 3 and 5. Oh, and the 3, yep, gives us the order of those. We're just getting all kinds of numbers now. All right, so okay, this one we know has to go down 2. So let's make those, how about blue? We haven't used blue yet. And that means we have a ratio dot down here. And so this, right, and there's 1, 2, 4 already in the row. So it can't be any of 1, 2, 4. It can't be 8 then, obviously, because it would need a 4. So this has to be 3 and 6, and the 3 up there is going to give us the order of those. Which, let's see, the southeast. We haven't done this one yet. So southeast 3. 1, 2, 3. So, oh, but okay. All right. I was confused for a second there. How about green? So what I was confused about there is I was saying, oh, so this must be a 4 then because it's connected to this one, not this one. But it's still connected to either that one or up here. So there's going to be actually, it's interesting because this one tells us southeast 3, that this one is a copy of it. But this one down here is telling us that one of these other ones, so we kind of end up with 3 copies. But we are gonna, okay, so it is, we've got, this one has a difference dot at the bottom, this one has a ratio dot at the left, so we must have to kind of copy both directions, I think. That's the way I'm assuming this works. So yeah, so like that. So now, oh, stop putting dots in. Okay. Well, that gives us a 6 right here, right? The 3 and the 6, the ratio dot. This one now, so it could still fit there because it's got the difference dot. Could it be up here? This would have to be a 5 or a 7. I think that's okay. All right, but this white dot tells us this is either 2, 3, or 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So this one has to be copied to the west, so it's either going to be there, there, or there. And since we only have a dot at the top, it could be a 5 still. I was wondering if 5 was going to push us off the grid, but it doesn't. So I still don't know if this one's copied here or up here. Okay, what other ones haven't we copied? We did the south, we did the southeast, we did the north, we did the northwest. So we've got question mark ones now is what we need to figure out. So, well, this one has a lot of dots, right? So it's got to be, so we can't go west, clearly. There's only 2 options. Northwest runs off the grid. North, 2, 3, runs off the grid. Northeast would go off the grid. So we've got to go some combination of south and or east. So either east, south, or southeast. South, 1, 2, 3, 4, will put us right there. Which I think we could have 2 ratio dots there, I think. I think that would work. I'm not seeing why it wouldn't anyways. Southeast, we have very little restrictions down here, so that's 2, 3. We're not going to be able to go east, though, because since we already have 2, 4, and 8 in this row, we can't do another series of 2 ratio dots in row 4. So it's got to be south or southeast. So it's going to be one of these 2. Do I want to color those? I think I'm going to color them and try to remember that these are the options and not for sure clones. And I think since I'm putting the dots in once I know it's a clone, I think we'll be able to remember this. Just because there's no dots on it yet, I think we'll be okay. So one of those is going to be a copy of this, which is actually a copy of that. So it's a copy of a copy. What else should we do? So that question one we don't really know yet. What about these other? There's 2 here that have the question marks. Well, the 6. I mean, the 6 is obviously can't go up or left. Can it even go down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could. It would have a ratio dot here, which would have to be from 1, 2, 4, and 8. But I think there's a lot of options there. Okay. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would go over here. So it'd have a ratio dot there. So yeah. All right. Let's do another. What color haven't we used? That color, whatever that is. I'm going to call that brown. I don't know if that's brown. It might be some form of green, but I'm colorblind and I'm calling that brown. Okay, this 5 can't go up. Oh, and it can't go down. So, yeah, and if you're going, like, if you can't go north, you also can't go northeast because you still have to go up that same number of cells, even though you're going to the right as well. So it has to just be an east one, doesn't it? I don't think it has any other option. Because if it goes up or down, it runs off the grid, and it can't go to the left, obviously. So those 2, maybe pink? Pink? We haven't used pink yet. So, but that gives us a difference dot. If I can get there, right there. So those 2 match. Again, the difference dots don't tell you very much, really, at first. All right, are there other ones that we haven't? Question. We did this one, we did that one, we did that one, that one. Can we do anything with this? It's going west 2, 3, or 5. Is there any reason any of those couldn't have a difference dot at the top? Well, so if it was 2, if this was a 2, that would force a 1. That would make this a 4. So this would have to be 3 or 5, which seems fine. So 2 works. If it's a 3, this would be, the copy would be here. And this would have to be a 7. It couldn't be a 5, but 6, 7 seems like it would work. And over here, I mean, obviously, at this point, we could for sure have a difference dot over here. So don't really know that one yet. Okay, so what can we do? What do we know? Northwest, northwest. We were making such good progress at first. So the reds we don't know, the browns we don't know yet. This is the other one that we haven't located its copy yet. Right, so it's this one or that one. If this was the copy, you'd have a 6 there, which would force a 6 up there, but I think that's probably okay, at least for now. There, so okay, so that, and if it's up here, you'd have a black dot and a white dot. White dot would give you 5. Oh, right, you can't do that. Okay, so the reason it doesn't work is if you had a white dot between these two, this would be a 5 or a 7. Okay, that seems fine. But you also have a black dot then between these two, and you can't put a 5 or a 7 on a black dot. So this is a 1. And the copy is actually there. So let's make both of these yellow, because these are actually all, there's 4 copies now of yellow, which means we need to put ratio dots on both of these then, I guess, right? Because it would have to carry through up to here. Since this was a copy of this one, I assume that's how it works. I mean, it would have to, because it couldn't just be like, oh, it's a copy of it at the time that we decided it was a copy, and then the subsequent changes don't carry through, because that would depend on the order that you copied things in, and if you potentially, solved in a different... Yeah, I think it's got to be this way. Okay. I've convinced myself. So the one that makes this a 2, so now we know this one goes over to there. Let's see, what color should we use? Oh, we can use the green now because we aren't using it anymore where we had it before. And now we need a difference dot right there, so this is 3 or 5. But back to this 3 gives us the 6. And up here, now we're more limited. The difference dot didn't limit it very much, but the ratio is going to help some. So this, let's see, it could be 3, 6 still though, couldn't it? If it was in that order. Otherwise, this could be 4 or 8. It couldn't be 8 though, because for this to be 8, this would have to be 4, and it can't be 4. But it could be 4 with a... Oh, it'd have to be 4 with a 2, because again, you can't put an 8 there. So this is either 2, 4 or 3, 6. And then if it's 4, it's got to be 5 because of the 3 down here. If it's 6, it could be 5 or 7. Okay. So now what do we do? So we know there's a 4 over here, there's a 3 and a 6 up here, there's a 2 in the middle. Could this be the 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would have to copy there. I think that would work though, actually. Because this would be 6. You'd have a ratio dot here, so you'd have to have the 3, but we know the 3 is up here anyways. And you'd have to put a difference dot here, but that would put a 1. That seems fine. Okay. Okay, do we know anything more about these red ones? If this was, well, we know this can't be 1. Oh, this can't be 1, 4, or 8. If the red copied down here, because we've got the 2 ratio dots then, this cell can't be 1, 4, or 8, and we know it has to be 1, 2, 4, or 8. So this would have to be a 2. Oh, it can't be a 2 either. It can't be 1, 2, 4, or 8. Look at those. All 4 of those see this cell. So we can't put 2 ratio dots across there. So this is not the copy from here. It goes down to there. And now we can stick in those dots, and that's going to give us a bunch more information because the cell with the 4 dots is fairly restricted. So this one can't be 1 or 2. So it's 4 or 8, 2, 4. So it's either 4, 2, 1 or 8, 4, 2. So this one is 1 or 2. And then, okay, the 2, right. If it's 2, it's 1, 3. If it's 4, it's 3, 5. Yep, so it's the same thing we had over here, actually. And this one can't be 1. So now we get a 3, 5 pair in row 7. This one has the question marks, but it's a 1 or a 2, so I feel like it could go, it could go 2 cells up there, or, well, but it has the ratio dot, and so we can't go up there, actually. Because we've already got 1, 2, 4, 3, 6, so there's no way to do another ratio dot in that row. So if this was a 2, it couldn't go up. Can't go to the right or down. Could it go to there? It could, because we've got a dot there. It would put a white dot between these two. If this was a 2, it's 2, 4, 3, 5. This would have to be a 1, because the 3 would already be in here. So it'd have to be 2 with a 1, which I think works. So 2 could go up there. Could 2 go? No, 2 couldn't go to the west. So if it's a 2, it has to go up. It has to connect to that one. Now, if it's a 1, where does it go? It can't go to the west. Can't go down. Could it go down? I think it could, actually. If this was a 3, if this is a 1, you'd have 1, 2. Wait. No, never mind. Forget all of that. If this is a 1, that's a 2. And then what are these two? 1 and 3. But we've already got a 1 there. So that's impossible. It's 2, 4, 8 with 3 and 5. Okay. And we just said that if this is a 2, it can't go up here. It can't go to the right or down at all. It can't go to the left. It's got to go up to there. So this is another yellow. A lot of yellows. And now we've got a difference dot to put in right here, which makes this a 1. And then what do we do? 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 5, 7, and 9. I'm actually going to write those in. I think it's getting small enough now. Few enough options now that we can do that. There's a 5 down here. 5, 7, 8, 9 is what's left in here. 1, 7, 8, 9 is what's left in here. All right. Can we do anything? I guess we can limit this one a little bit, right? Or maybe we can limit this one the most. Okay, this can't be 2, 4, or 8, right? So let's just 1, 3, 5, 6. Can it even be 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It could be 7 potentially. It would put it all the way over here. So 1 goes, obviously 1, I mean at this point, surely possible to have a difference dot there. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. We cannot have a difference dot between these because 3 can't connect to 5, 7, or 9. So that can't be 3. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it can't do that because we'd have to have the Kropki dots and no chance. 6 puts us here. That would put a 1 there. It would make this a 6, 3. I think that, oh, well, this can't be 1. This can't be 1 because of the 1 down here. Okay, so it's either 6 or 7. So it is one of these two. Okay, but that limits this one quite a bit because it has to connect to the 6 or the 7. So we're 5 or 7 if it's a 6. If it's a 7, it's got to be a 6 or an 8. But we've already got 5 and 6 in the row. So this is either 6, 7 or 7, 8. But this can't be an 8, can it? No way. No, because there's no way to move 8 cells and still be on the grid. Because it's only 7 to get to here. So this is actually a 7, which gives us the 6. Wow, I was thinking maybe we'll eliminate this down to, 2 or 3 options, not we would get the exact digits. Okay. So this, which was a copy from there, is then going back to the west, I think. Yeah, I can't go up or down at all, so it's got to be all the way over here. And that one was pink. And we get a difference dot. And then this one is 6, which goes to the blue. So this is a copy of the blue one, which then means we've got to put we got to copy that difference dot back over here, and also the ratio dot the other direction over to here. This is insane. All right, the 7 gives us the 9 there. These are not 9s. All right, so the 2 goes to a 1 because of the difference dot. This 3 has to go to 2 or 4, but we've already got the 2 up above, so it's got to be a 4. Okay, so we've done both of those. We've got a new question mark here that we haven't used yet. I was just noticing these two are going to be the same cell, which is then going to be down here, but okay, I don't think that's helpful. I guess we haven't looked at the brown one for a while. Can we do anything with the brown one? So it's just a ratio dot to the right. So if it was here, now it can't be 3 and 6 because we've already used 3 and 6 twice. So 3 and 6 actually have to be over here. But 3, 5 means this isn't 3. Okay. So this, if this was the copy of the brown, it would have to have a ratio dot. It couldn't be 3, 6. It couldn't be 1, 2 because of the 1 there. It couldn't be 2, 4 or 4, 8 because of the 4 there. So what would we have for a ratio dot here? There's nothing. There's no options. So this is not brown. We know the brown one now. Okay, this is the brown copy. We got to put the dot there. Now this one can't be 3, 6, obviously, because of there. This can't be 1 or 2, so it's a 4 or an 8, which is then going to go to, the 4 would go to 2 or 8, the 8 would go to 4. So it's got to be like that. All right, so I guess we're back to the pink one here now, right? And the problem is when I click on the cell, it changes the color because it's highlighting it. So I got to keep clicking off or else I forget which color I'm looking at. So this has to go some direction. Well, we know it can't be 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. So it's only, oh, not 5. 2, 4, or 8 are the only options, I think. Oh, and it can't be 2 or 4. So is it an 8? Okay, so it's got a copy over to here. So the pinks are just like filling in the whole row 5. I thought for a second that I did something wrong because I didn't think this could be an 8, but it can if we go all the way over here. So we're just kind of bouncing back and left to right across row 5, which is interesting because these are all question marks and then they all just go along in the same row. That's cool. All right, so that's an 8, which means this is 7 or 9 because the different. Oh, but the 5-7 pair here tells us that's a 9. And so now I think 1 is the only thing left in this row. And we get 7 in here to finish off the box. So what's over here? These are 5, 8, and 9. The 5 can't be here because of the 3-5 pair. These are 2 and 4. And the 4 here gives us the order of those. Oh, but we didn't put our difference dot in, did we? Difference, because we copied the pink. Wow. And there you go. So we would have known it was 2 and 4 because of that, but it works out. So that one then has to copy, right? I don't think we've copied the 4 yet. We went from the 5 to the 7 to the 8, and now we're at the 4. It's got to copy 1, 2, 3. It can't go up because it would be connecting a difference dot out of the grid. Could go down. Could go south. It could go southwest. 1, 2, 3. It can't go west because the 3 can't connect to a 5 or a 7. And it can't go, right, we said it can't go up, so it can't go northwest either. So it's got to be one of these two is pink. Excuse me. Not sure how we're going to determine that. Oh, well, this can't be a 4. We know that. So this is 2, 4, or 8, 4. This is 4 either way. Because it's either 2, 4, or 8, 4. So that's a 4. So what's left in the column here? 4, 6, 8, and 9. Oh, but the 8 can't be down here. So just by Sudoku, we get the 8 up here. So these are 4, 6, and 9. So if this pink copies down here, 2, 3, 4, yeah, it'd have to have a difference dot, but you can't put a difference dot between 4, 6, and 9. So this can't be pink. This is the pink. We get a dot there. Can't be, it's got to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. This one's 8 or 9 because the 6, 7 there. 6, 7, 8, or 9. This can't be 8. Actually, in this row, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already. So this is 7, 8, or 9, and this. Oh, this one has to be 6 because it can't be 7, 8, or 9. Just normal Sudoku. I always you get on some of these variants, especially when it's kind of complicated like this. There's so much going on. You forget to just do normal Sudoku. So that's not a 6, and now we know the 6 is on the dot here. So this has to be a 6, 7. And that is not a 7. That gives us an 8, 9 pair, which gives us a 7 back here. These are not 6 anymore. So is there more we can do just with normal Sudoku, I guess, is the question, right? So we know there's a 9 down here. That one can't be a 4. That 4. 6, 7. Okay. So are there any of the compass cells we haven't used yet? We did this one. We did this one. Did that one up there. This one went there, over here. The pinks all jumped around and then finally left row 5 down here. This is the 2 that goes up there. This 4 goes. Oh, this doesn't even a compass cell. It was one of the copies. So have we used all of the compass cells then? Is it just normal Sudoku now we got to figure out? Um, oh, there's one more right there, but we don't know anything about that one, do we? Now, is that the last compass cell? It is, and so I suppose that means it has to be. Since we don't have any dots, I'm assuming you can't copy a cell that's no dots because I mean that seems like it would be pointless to say this one has no dots and this one over here is a copy and also doesn't have any dots, like, because there's no negative constraint, so that wouldn't really be telling us anything. So I think that means this one has to connect to one of our cells that has dots already. So one of our colored cells already. So what color could this be? Well, let's see. It can't be 3, 4, 6, or 8. So it's 1, 2, 5. Could it even be 7? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 7's going to push it off the grid. So it's got to be a 1, 2, or 5. So if it's 5, 5 seems like the easiest one to rule out. Let's see if it's 5. Where could it go? 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could go there. No, because we can't put a black dot there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 would create a white dot. We can't do a white dot with the 8. So this can't be a 5. It's got to be a 1 or a 2. Let's see if it's a 2. It can't jump over there because it would need to have a ratio dot between these two. And with 1, 2, and 5, 7, you obviously can't do that. Um, in fact, this can't have a ratio dot. Could have one up. It could have a ratio dot pointing up, but it can't have a ratio dot to the left, right, or bottom. So 2 can't go to the left. 2 couldn't go to the right. Couldn't go up. Couldn't go down because again it would have to have that ratio dot. East, southwest. So if it's a 2, it would have to be this one, which would put a white dot there, which is possible. Okay, if it's a 1, it can't go down. Can't go there. Could go to the east again though, because again it would have a white dot, same as this one. And then it would be 1, 2. It obviously can't go down here if it's a 1. It can't go to the left if it's a 1. So I think whether it's a 1 or a 2, it's either copying this one or this one. I think those are our only options. Which means either way, it has a white dot at the top. We don't know if it's copying this one or this one yet, but it has to have a white dot. But again, that doesn't tell us anything because we got 1, 2, 2, 3. Either way, we've already got that as a possibility. So it could be 1, 2, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 6, and then 5 or 7. So I think either way, whether this is a 1 or a 2, it's going to have the white dot, but I don't know what that tells us. All right, maybe it is just Sudoku that we need to do, just normal Sudoku. So where do we do Sudoku though is the question, right? All right, let's look at these. What do we have left? 5, 7, 8, and 9. I mean, the 7 has to be at the top. All right, what about this 1, 2, 8, and 9? There's 2 and 8 there, so this is a 1 or a 9. Doesn't seem very helpful. This, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 2 and a 4, so this is 1, 3, or 5. So 3 and a 4 up here. So these are 1, 2, 5. Okay. No, there's a 7 up here. There's a 7 in there. So 1 over here. There's a 2 down here. 3 over here. Oh, the 4. Look at the 4. We've got all of these, which put a 4 down here. Oh, no. I'm losing my mind. I don't know how to do Sudoku anymore. I do all of these, and then I say, oh, there's a 4 down here. Well, obviously not. It's the same box. The 4 is up here. Okay. Never mind. So 4 up here. It's got to be something with normal Sudoku that we can do. Just got to find it. There's an 8 up here. Which means we have an 8 down here, but it could still be there, I think. I know there's a 1 up here. Have we used all of our dots? Okay, so let's think about this again. This is 1, 2, 4, 5 as a possibility. Otherwise, it's 2, 3, 6, and then 5 or 7. Okay, so that doesn't tell us much. There's something that I'm not seeing. Something that I'm not seeing. 3, we know there's a 3 down here. We know there's a 2 here in one of these two, but I mean, we already knew there was a 2 up here anyways, so. If this is 2, then that forces this to be a 1. This is 2, 1, which would be 5. If this is 1, okay. Yeah, if this is 2, this is a 1, that's a 5. But if this is a 1, it's 1, 2, 4, 5. So if this is a 2, it's going to force both of those to be 5, so this has to be an 8. 9, 8. It's not 8 or 9. Oh, that's not an 8, so it's 5, 9, 8. 4, 2. So, but we still don't know if this is 1 or 2. But we know there's a 1 and a 2 up here, and 3 and a 5 there. And this is 6, 7, and 9. This one's not 6. This is 2, 4, or 3, 6. Which I think works either way. This, to finish the row here, we need 1, 2, 5, 7, or 9. But we've got 1, 2, and 9. So these have to be 5, 7, right? 2, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, so that gives us a 9 there. The 5, 7 means this isn't a 5. These are not 9. 5, 7. So we've got a 5, 7 X-wing here. So 5 and 7 have to be down here. But that doesn't tell us much. We know this isn't 5 or 7, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6. And these are the same, 3, 4, and 6. We have a 3, 4, 6 triple. This is a 2. It's going to give us a 1, a 4, a 5, a 7, a 5, a 7, a 2. The 2 there is going to give us the 1 and the 2 over here. The 4 is not in those anymore. That leaves 9 to finish the box. 3, 6, 7, 3, 5. Okay, so down here we've got 3, 5, and 7. The 3, 6 pair up here gives us 4 there, so that's not 4. We have the 6, 9 pair now. 3, 5, and 7. Right. This is a 1, so we know it's a copy of this one then. What haven't we used? We haven't used the gold. So I think we've used all of the directional, all the compass cells now. So we just need to do normal Sudoku to finish off the puzzle. So we've got a 1 up there. We've got, this is 1, 2, 8, and 9. We have 1, 2 there. So this is 8 or 9. Oh, 2, 8, 9. So this is 1. So we have 2, 8, and 9 already in that row. So the 1 gives us the 9. This is going to be the 2 and the 8. Keep looking for something to disambiguate this part, but we don't have anything yet. It's probably going to be the 7 or the 5 up here is going to do it for us. I hope. 5. These are 5, 7, 8, and 9. Well, the 9 can't be down here, so it's got to be up there. And the 9 there gives us the order. So these are 5. And the 7 can't be down here, so the 7's up here. And like I figured, the 7 or the 5, that'll give us 6, 7, which is then that 6 is going to give us the 3, 6. And the 3 is going to give us the 5 and the 3. And now we have a 4 here and a 5 there to finish the rows. And this is not 5. We have 1 and 3, and the 1 over here tells us this is the 3 and the 1. These are 5 and 8, and the 8 over here is going to give us those. And now the 3 is going to give us the 5 and the 3, which is going to give us that 5. And the 3 here, 7 and 3. The 9 gives us the 6 and the 9, and that 6 will give us the 6 and the 7. And there we go. And since I don't have the timer running, it's not going to turn green, but I am fairly confident that is the solution to Kropki Copies, which is a bit of a tongue twister. Say that 3 times fast. Kropki Copies. Kropki Copies. Kropki Copies. Kropki Copies. Yeah, it's a little tricky. All right. That was a neat idea. Very fun puzzle. I can see how you could easily make a very difficult puzzle using this rule, especially with all the question marks, because there's just so many options at first, but the ratio dots are the big limiting factor, right? Because you can only have certain numbers on those, and especially when you get 2 ratio dots connecting, that makes a big difference. But very neat idea, cool puzzle. Thank you for sending that to me, Manus, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know how it went. If you like this new rule set? I know he's working on a few more puzzles with these same rules, so those will be interesting to look at in the future. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that. I'll see you again soon with another puzzle. And go Cubs. Bye.